This is Jonathan Stack from SFC Sports News. Today I have with me a Staffordshire Stallions player, Anthony Wallace. Today they've kindly given up a bit of their time as part of the officers team at the Staffordshire University Student Union, and we're just going to have a little chat about American football. Welcome.
Hey man.
How are you?
I'm alright, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
I'm good.
What made you get into American football to begin with?
So for me it was, I'm a mature student, so I've already seen a bit and done a bit, and you know, did acting when the army came here, and to me university was about just trying anything that's new, and I hadn't played American football yet. So
Okay.
I thought, you know what it is? I'm going to play American football. And yeah, that's how I started playing American football.
Were there any other alternatives besides American football you would have chosen?
I would have probably either gone with lacrosse or snowboarding. I think there's like a snowboarding society. I always wanted to do snowboarding. Out of all the sports in the world, snowboard is the one I've not done, and it's the one of the most popular sport the army let you do for free. And funny enough, I never got to do it in the army. It's like the one thing I've not been able to do in the army, and it's like, are you serious? So
okay.
Yeah, I would have done snowboarding probably.
The impact of COVID-19 throughout sport is there for all to see. In the summer, Bucks cancelled the season, but have recently stated there will be a 6-game season in February 2021. Improvement on the current situation permitting. Are you happy that there will be some sort of season this academic year?
Yeah, I think so. I think we all need it. So I think in terms of everyone's mental health, I think there's something we need to do. Getting out and about, having that activity in your life is key right now, given everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So for me, I think, yeah, I'm really happy that they're going to go ahead with it. I think on a competitive level, I'm a little bit gutted it's not a league, and we're not going to promote, and we're not going to demote, but at the same time, it's a really good year to rebuild the team moving forward.
It's like a stepping stone.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. And it's like it gives us that baseline to then go, okay, we've had a year together, we've played a couple of games, we know how to do that, now let's be a team and win a season next year.
Do you think the 2021-22 season will go ahead as normal, or have any interruptions like we have seen this year?
So, you're lucky that I just happened to also be the Bucks Vice Chair representative of the Midwest. So,
okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
I don't know if you
Didn't
knew
know
that.
that,
But yeah, I went for it, didn't win it, but then because of the situation, they needed 2 people to do the role, so they basically created the role and gave it to me. It was like, do you want to be vice chair? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be vice chair. So the current chair is someone called Charlotte. She's at Warwick, and I'm privy to all his meetings. And the last meeting I had was about 2 weeks ago, and as far as Bucks are concerned, they have no intention of not having a season next year regardless, even if it's just friendlies. So it's quite nice to be privy to that information, to know that regardless, as far as Bucks are concerned, which is the place we sign up to,
yeah,
there is going to be a season next year, or at least this year.
You have been on the team for a few years now. What is it like to play for Stallions?
It's amazing. I think it's an incredible opportunity to be a part of a team that actually cares. That wasn't always the case. My first year was a little bit different. We had a bit of a different culture. I think more of a rugby lad sort of just go out and enjoy it and not really care about the game. Then, gratefully, a lot of those players left, and some people just didn't come back. And because of that, we managed to change the nature of the team and the culture. And then that year was the most successful year we'd had in a long time. I think we got down to the semi-finals of like our league essentially. Essentially the Super Bowl for us.
Yeah.
In our division. So we got to the semi-finals of that, and it was amazing. So it was just that kind of environment. It was really, really nice to be a part of, and to see that develop was even better, because I knew where it was and where it's been and where it's going. To be privy to that is also amazing, because you see the development.
Also, what is it like to represent the university, i.e. game days and events?
It's really nice. It's nice to just go out there in your Reds and just be like, we're here to dominate, we're here to win, and that's all we're here to do. Granted, that's not always the case, but that's the nature of the sport. You know, you're not always going to win. So just having that opportunity to be representative of your university is incredibly important, and it gives you that sense of belonging, really does.
Who is your favourite NFL team and why?
Kansas Chiefs through and through. Just happens to be super winning chance right now. So yeah, the reason why is interesting. I love Superman. I love Smallville. So it was kind of only then like a natural sort of stir of, well, I'm just going to go with Kansas, because obviously that's where he's from in the books and in the films. So I was like, I'll go with Kansas City Chiefs. And I just happened to make that decision when they're having one of the best seasons of their entire franchise ever. So yeah, it's quite lucky.
Who are your favourite NFL player or players?
Travis Kelce. He's just a dominant player, man. He's just something else. He's such a tool on the offense. You know, if he wasn't there, I wouldn't like to see where Kansas would be. That's all I'm saying.
What do you think of Coach Charles?
Love him. I used to do my head in the first year. Couldn't stand him. I'm very inquisitive, right? I'll constantly ask you questions. I want to know. My issue is if I don't know the framework and I don't know essentially the rules and the I can't even get the word right. Intricacies. That's the one. Intricacies of the sport. I'm at a loss because I don't know what I can and can't do. And me coming straight from the army where I'm used to just like, these are the rules. This is what you can and can't do. This is what I expect. I didn't have that. And he wasn't very good at explaining that either. So my first year was terrible and he used to do my editing. I used to do, and he'll openly tell you, I used to do his editings. All I used to do was bother him and badger him about asking questions about this and this. What can I do, what I can't do, why are they doing that, what da 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 da. Because as you know, American football, if you just watch it, you've never seen it before, you're like, what on earth is going on? Why is there 3 separate teams? Well, they're not. They're all part of the same team. There's just 3 separate offense, defense, specials. It's just the way it works. But you just don't know that. I didn't know that. I was like, why the hell am I on specials? I don't want to be a special. I don't even know what specials is. Like, I just wanted to catch the ball at the time. So yeah, I like Ant Charles. He's incredible. I think when it came to my second year, I really started to understand him as a man. Like I understood him as a coach. Like he really, like I put a lot of work in going from first year to second year. Like a lot of work. I spent the entire summer just hitting the gym, training, learning the game because I was just so evident that I just was so handicapped not knowing what was going on that I knew I had to, when I come back I just had to learn what the game was about, why things happened the way they did. And when I came back and explained and I showed it the way I played, I showed it the way I did things, that I just knew what I was doing. And the second you start to do that, everything else starts to kick into place. And he's incredibly supportive and he really rates somebody who goes through that journey. He really understands that it can be quite difficult.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you don't get enough time, or he doesn't get enough time, being as big as a team as we have, to get around to everyone to teach them those things. So you kind of have to learn it yourself. But when you do, he really appreciates that you've gone out of your way to learn the sport inside out. So.
Could you see yourself coming back to the Stallions in a coaching role in the distant future?
Well, it's kind of already sort of happened, hasn't it? Really, I've already started. It kind of sort of happened towards my second year anyway, because our DB coach at the time wasn't really there. He kept disappearing and then come back and disappearing. Okay. So I ended up taking up sort of the role anyway, because by that point I'd learned the role. This time around, obviously, Tom last year took on the coaching role for DB, because like I said, yet again, the coach didn't turn up, he wasn't really doing anything or helping, and we had a season to be prepping for, and I just happened to snap my knee. So it just kind of worked out that I'd try and help out where I could. Yeah. And then I'd teach what I know was better where I could. And that's both sides of the field. If I'm a DB and I'm against a receiver, then I would tell the receiver how to be a better receiver. Like I'd know a good receiver from a bad one a mile away, anyone would. So I'd help them learn. So I started taking on that sort of coaching role just naturally. Because at the end of the day, like, it's your team. Granted, we have 2 separate offense and a defense, and we have to play against each other when it comes to like skillies and stuff. But at the end of the day, I want my receiver to be able to beat the DB because they're the guys putting the points on the board. Yeah. Realistically, if defense putting the points on the board, they're not only just doing defense, they're being beyond it. They're doing more than they should do realistically. But that shows you the high level of a defense. But in terms of like knowing that your receivers need to know how to beat a DB, if they don't do it properly, what's the point? So I started coaching and doing that. So that's kind of the direction I've been. And Charles, funnily enough, Coach Charles has sort of pushed me in that direction anyway. I think he's like, you need to get your level 1 and just start chipping in and doing what you can. And I was like, all right, well, I'll look into it once my knee's better and da da da. But then obviously COVID hit and everything was going on. So yeah, fine.
Anthony, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks.